Do you know how to deal with emotional neglect in your marriage? Listen up, because I'm going to give you 3 tools you can use to address it. It's common for one partner to feel completely neglected on an emotional level in marriage. I see it all the time. As a couples therapist, you really feel stuck when you're being neglected emotionally. I'm going to give you tools to help you work your way out of an emotionally neglectful marriage. I'm not here to tell you that it's easy to get out of an emotionally neglectful marriage, but I'm telling you that it is possible. So here's how. Before I tell you the 3 things to do, I want to remind you of something. What I want to remind you of is that you do have the power to change some things in your relationship. You're not just a victim. And I know that that's not very validating to your pain of being in an emotionally neglectful relationship. I realize you're in pain. Because your partner is doing these hard things and neglecting you on an emotional level, it doesn't mean that you don't have the responsibility to stand up for yourself. You have some power to actually create change. And I'm going to talk to you about some things that you can do. Now, some of these doors might be really hard to walk through. They might be really difficult to do it. But it is possible for you to walk through these things so that you don't stay in the relationship like it is. The first thing I want you to do is what I call take out the garbage. What I mean by that is if you're just sitting back in resentment and you haven't spoken your truth, you haven't voiced up because you're afraid of their reaction or the consequences of what might come with you getting honest, it's time to get honest. It's time to tell your partner how you're feeling and where you're at. And chances are is if they're emotionally neglectful, then they won't care that much. They won't try to understand how you're feeling. But at least step up and be honest about where you're at and how you're feeling in the relationship. That's the first step. The next thing to do is to understand yourself on a deeper level. What do you value? What is important for you? And as you understand those values and who you are, then step into your healthy boundaries. Be honest and boundaried with your partner. Now, boundaries are not about putting up walls. They're not about controlling your partner. Boundaries are about you showing up authentic in the relationship. It's knowing where they stop and you begin, and you letting them know this is who I am and this is what I need. This is my honest self and my honest truth. And if these things can't get met, then here's the consequences with me. Don't be afraid of conflict. Those boundaries, your partner's going to freak out a little bit. Why are you being so honest? Why are you telling me this now? You shouldn't feel that way. You're bad for feeling that way. At this point, if you're feeling like an emotionally neglectful relationship, then conflict is a good thing. It's the catalyst to change. So be as loving and kind as you can be, but be willing to step into conflict. So the first 2 are take out the garbage. Second, have some boundaries and step into conflict. Before I give you the 3rd thing, I want you to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thanks. What is emotional neglect? Emotional neglect is when a partner doesn't really care. They don't care about connecting to you. They don't want to validate you. They don't want to empathize with you. They don't want to hold space for you. They are more concerned with them, or they're shut down. They're avoidant. They're isolated. When those things start to happen, you feel alone. You feel stuck. You feel like you can't budge them at all. And they then have all the power in the relationship. It feels like there's nothing you can do and they have the power. So in order to get out of an emotionally neglectful relationship, it's important for you to take back your power. Not in a controlling way. You're not forcing them to do anything. But instead of groveling for their love, instead of begging for their connection, you start to love yourself. You start to focus on what's in your control. And what's in your control is your own self-care. It's standing up for you and what you need and who you are. So instead of turning to them to fix this, you actually turn to yourself and you turn to God in order to feel okay on your own first and foremost, so that you can step into hard things with your partner. The last, maybe the most important thing that you can do is to self-assess. Assess what is in your control. Look at why you've tolerated what you've tolerated for so long. Why have you settled for scraps? What is your shame saying? What is your fear saying about divorce or losing the relationship? Why have you sacrificed yourself for that relationship? And address those things so that you don't do that any longer. Seek out help. Find a good therapist for you individually, as well as a good therapist for the relationship, to help you start to learn how to connect. And if your partner is willing, then therapy can really make a big difference in terms of creating actual emotional connection in your relationship. Don't settle for a neglectful relationship. If this video has been helpful, I know it's hard to be in an emotionally neglectful relationship. It's also hard to be in a relationship where you've been cheated on. So check out my other video, how to get over being cheated on and stay together.